Okay, this morning I have to go to the store. Gotta pick up a couple more supplies for cooking in the kitchen. It's a problem with Airbnbs. Every single one I go to, they have they don't have a frying pan, or if they do, it's like completely trashed. And I'm kind of paranoid about getting little particles of nonstick stuff in my food. So I'm just gonna go buy a pan. They're usually pretty cheap, and then that way I can cook while I'm here. But I think today I'm gonna go. It's a beautiful day. A little bit overcast, which is nice for long walks. I'm gonna go to a place called, let me see, the Watermill Karoxbostel. I don't know. That's the best I can pronounce. But it's an old watermill that kind of is historical, and they do a lot of activities there. But it's a beautiful building, so I want to go check it out. It's kind of like the architecture of this Lower Saxony area that I'm in. Centered around, let me see, the main city is Seevetal, I guess. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. But yeah, it's Lower Saxony. It's very rural out here. On my first day walking around, I noticed that there's a ton of horse farms around here, just everywhere you look. They're really into their horses here. My eldest daughter would love that. But yeah, it's kind of cool. It's a lot of wheat, a lot of horses, very agricultural based. So I'm going to do a little bit of walking, see what I can find. Very few remnants of like really old barns, you know, with the kind of like the, I don't know what they call it, like the straw roof. And there's a few of those that I've seen in a couple of days I've been here. So hopefully I'll find some more. So let's go for a walk and see what we can find. This is what I found the other day, a skate park. Nice, beautiful skate park, and it's fenced off, and I can't figure out why. But it says something's going on here, but I can't figure it out. My German isn't good enough. But pretty soon we're going to be heading into more of the countryside. So we'll see kind of some of the farms and stuff out there. If anyone knows better German, maybe it says in there why it's closed. What little I know of the history, like a really old history of this area, this is where the Saxons came from, which invaded England. And so they were kind of Christians when they invaded England and kind of took over. The Vikings, which are a little bit different but similar kind of group, were pagans. And so once again, this is where the Saxons, this is like northern Germany, you know, Netherlands, stuff like that. That's where the Saxons came from, which is this region. Lots of horse farms out here. This whole area, all the way past the woods, is horse farms. Look at all the crows out there. Freshly mowed field. Ooh, it's kind of windy. This is a thing full of produce, and it's all rotting, like it's been left here. And I just walked, like, there's like all these crates and stuff full of rotting vegetables all along this road. I don't know, maybe it's derelict, like someone... It's a working farm, it looks like, but yeah, it's kind of nasty. Bunch of hay. Lots of cows. A lot different than the cows I saw in California. Not much horses out here, though. I haven't seen many horses since I've gotten this direction. Mostly cows, hay, wheat, and birds. Someone's done a lot of work putting up a lot of birdhouses all up and down this road. Oh, that's a big, impressive house. Old barn in the back. Nice. Wow, that's a cool looking goat. I don't know if you can see. Look at its horns. Lots of ducks. Look at that house. That is amazing. I'll have to read up on it, but it's some kind of farm, special farm. Look at that cool cornice up there. That's beautiful. A thatched house, that's what that's called. Couldn't think of it earlier. It looks like they have special kind of goats, hogs, special cattle, and they got some special horses too. Highland cattle, tarpan. Don't know what that is. Don't know what that is. Pretty cool. A lot of working hobby farms out here, maybe. I don't know. 3 old barns as well. Looks like they're renovating or re-roofing that one. But you could see the architecture once again. I don't know what they call it, where it's like posts and then they infill with the brick. Seems to be the common architecture here. But beautiful barns. That'd be so cool to get one of those and renovate it and turn it into living quarters. There's another one. Actually, this is what looks like what they did to this one here. Right? It looks like it's an old barn, perhaps. And look what they have up there. Oh, that's so cool. It's like a witch on a broom. That is super cool. I don't know if you could see it because the sun is right behind it, but that's interesting. I love how they put the Corniche decorations on there. That's like 2 horses. Cool too. You can see how thick the thatch is on there. I thought it was only England that really did that, but I guess here in this part of Germany they do as well. I wonder if it comes from here actually. I'm getting close. The Watermill. But I guess it's a pretty famous historical landmark. So I can't wait to get there. We're almost there. Stork's Nest. There's a bunch of other stuff out there. I'm going to see if I can check it out. But I was made aware from my cousin Delphine in Portugal that in Oporto, the government puts up all these nesting areas for the storks. And when I was in Latvia, in Ergame, visiting my friend Sybil, they also have the same thing where they put up all these government-sponsored stork nests all over the place for them to nest. This looks pretty cool. I wonder what it is. I'm gonna see if I can go check it out. It looks like maybe a community garden or something. Let's go investigate. Yeah, something garden, cultural garden. That's all I can read. We got a lot of stuff here to look at. Good time to practice reading my German, I guess. Ponds, rock, garden type stuff, like raised beds. Cool carvings too. Yeah, this is kind of an I wish I could read the language a lot better, but it like has all these different types of natural environmental gardening stuff, I guess you can say. Yeah, like I said, I wish I knew a little bit more. It kind of reminds me of in Oregon we have something called Mount Pisgah, which is more like an arboretum, outdoor arboretum, and kind of like talks about how to be in coexistence with the natural habitat. And I think that's what this garden is kind of doing. Talk about how you can grow compost, have ponds or areas for wildlife to live. You know, like you see all these things talk about insects, frogs, birds, squirrels, making it so you can cohabitate with them, right? Bees. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like a nice find actually to be like, that's why I like walking around just randomly, going to places that tourists typically don't go, seeing how the locals are living, what, you know, issues they're dealing with, and what they're, you know, obviously like the German people living in this area are really concerned about the natural environment and upkeeping it. And you wouldn't find that stuff out normally unless you really go out and kind of get off the beaten path. But anyway, pretty cool. Be too dark to see. But this is like this really cool building. I'll show you what it looks like from the outside. But on the inside, these are little slats that you can look inside the birds' nests that surround this building. Now, if you look outside and it's like, here's the bird nests, and it's a really cool building. And they got like stuff growing on top. Yeah, that is trick. I've never seen anything like that before. That's pretty cool. So, continue on. I don't know what these wood paddles on the trees are. And then upside down stuff. Huh, weird. I'm not really sure what this is either. They don't want birds to get in there, it looks like. Maybe some kind of beetles or something? Homes for beetles? Wow. This is super cool. Oh, that's neat too, this path. I don't know if you're supposed to walk on it. Corks. Cool little bus stop area. So this is a world clock, but it's also a sundial. Huh. Well, that's pretty neat. Yeah, Delhi, Nepal, Singapore, Vancouver, Mexico. Wow, it's super intricate. Whoever made this really put some thought into it, that's for sure. Okay, continue on. Super cool find, I must admit. Okay, Watermill next. Watch out for kids, chickens, families, lots of traffic. Pretty cool. This is it. Wow, look at that barn. Oh, and that's super cool how around the chimney stacks they actually put tile down, maybe to keep this from burning. Even though I heard it's really hard to catch that on fire. Like, it'll just smolder if anything. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I guess it's really old. I'll put the description, or at least the title of this place in the title of the video, so you can look it up yourself. Let's go check it out. That must be the water. You can see a grinding stone over there. I gotta find out if there's a tour or something. Yes, yes. Wow, you could really see the old beams in here, the fireplace. And yeah, so it's where the animals and the people lived in this barn. That's cool. Little doors. And they were gonna tear it down and someone decided to save it. It's pretty neat. Inside of the barn. Okay, so I got an amazing tour of the barn, which is a barn and a house. They kept the animals in there and the family lived in this section right here. And the watermill and the sawmill. This was the center of this whole community, the town. The people, the farmers had to bring their grain here. And if they wanted any wood, they had to get it from here as well. But it was really interesting, this is now a historical monument, is that it was in complete disrepair about 15 years ago, completely dilapidated, falling down. And there was only one gentleman left in the family who owned it. And he actually died in here. He was kind of a hermit, so people would leave food for him, like right here at the front door. And I guess he wasn't picking up the food, and someone finally investigated, and they found a whole bunch of dead animals in the barn, and he was dead in there as well. So he just kind of died there, and he had no relatives left in existence that were still alive. And so they were going to tear this whole place down and put up housing. And then the current mayor of the city, can't remember, the Seevetal, she organized people and they purchased the property and they just started renovating, and they're still renovating, and they got everything working. They got the mill, the metal, like they got a blacksmith, everything here. It's absolutely amazing, and it's all free to come and check out too. It's all run by donations, and it's complete working mill, sawmill, blacksmith shop. They bake goods here as well. The bakery, wood-fired, everything. Super, super nice people. They gave me a beer. They all sat and talked with me. It was super cool. German people are amazing. They're just so friendly. And they really wanted to show me what they had done and achieved here. It was super cool. If you're ever in Lower Saxony, I highly recommend you come here and check it out. It's a piece of the history, how people lived 200 years ago, right? Absolutely amazing. Super cool that they did this. Anyway, I'm going to continue my walk home. This might be the end of the video, but if I see anything else that's cool, I'll put it in the video as well. Let's continue on. Walking along the frontage road here. There's a freeway, so it's kind of loud, but there's this beautiful pond here. A little bit of an area where you can kind of kick back Looks like people picnic here. And along there's a bench. But it's part of the, ooh, a big fish. Oh, there's a big fish right there. A whole bunch of them. Maybe I can get closer and see what they are. But this is part of the, Seevetal is the main city. And then they have, it's made up of 5 smaller hamlets or towns. Look at that big fish. I don't know if you could see it in the water. Just sitting there. Look at that thing. It's huge. I think it's a carp or like a catfish. You can see the whiskers on it. But these small towns make up the Seevetal area. And Mechafeld, which is one of the places, the little city I'm staying in, this is their pond, I guess. At least that's what the sign, what I kind of made out from the sign. If you know any better, you can put in the comments if I'm mistaken, but I think that's what it is. Yeah, pretty cool fish. Thing's huge. It's massive. I don't know if you could swim in this water. Highly doubt it. Looks kind of murky. But these are the ponds that also, there's a big pond like this that powers the sawmill and the grain mill that I was just at as well. I think they're all kind of interconnected. It's a dead baby, I think it's a mole. I saw that they have these, they're in the area, these moles. I think that's what they call them. They burrow in the ground, they're kind of blind, right? It's a dead baby. Ugh. But I guess they're kind of common in this area. And they actually don't consider them a pest. They want them actually, you know, be taken care of and populate and whatever. Anyway, continue on. Just chilling out in the shade. That's kind of cool. Like these roads go dirt paths and stuff. I think there's some kind of this S. It's like a special bike path or something. I'm in this it's another little small hamlet. You could tell an old barn there. This one's a very old one. The date is 1429. Now obviously a lot of these buildings are a whole hell of a lot newer. But even this building here, which looks brand new, if you look on the side, it has the old power insulators for the power wires coming in. So that even itself, even though it looks brand spanking new, that's like 100 years old. You know, they just put a lot of money in it recently. But it looks like they must have kept a lot of the old design style, because there's the loft where you would bring stuff in, even though no longer is in the design of the roof. But like this barn here, you could look at the hinges and see how old those are. Hand hammered hinges, right? And still a working farm, right? They still have tractors and stuff and probably lots of property, but all these buildings in this must have been the town center right here. Once again, the decorative awnings up there, or cornices. Look at this building right here, right in front of me, must be super old as well. But yeah, let's see what's around the corner. Big buildings, super big barns. Right, and so just like with the one we just saw, like these barns would have been for the animals to be in, half of it, and the other half is the living space. And that's very common with buildings dating back hundreds of years. That's what everyone did. Even in England, that was very common. All throughout Europe, you kept the livestock in with the family. Yeah, look at this barn here. Look at those cool windows. Yeah, super neat. Okay, I think this is Fleischstadt. Yeah, Fellstadt. And Seevetal is the main city. So then there's like Fleischstadt, Mechasfeld, all these other smaller little hamlets that are part of the Seevetal. So anyway, that's what I've been finding out today. Continue on. Final note, it's wheat, and I was just at a mill Watermill, and I was walking through this neighborhood and I noticed that they had like a flag, you know, like the coat of arms for, I think, is this region. I would assume it is since it's on a house here. And on the bottom part of the flag is a millstone. It kind of shows you the significance of farming and, you know, wheat production in this area for probably, you know, hundreds of years. It's important to their culture. But wow, beautiful day. I think this will be it for today. I don't really have much else. I'm almost home. Just got to go by the store, pick up some stuff, and then chill out for the rest of the night. So catch you next time. A cool barn. If you notice how they do the bricks this way, so it gets ventilation in there, because that's where the animals are, right? It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. That one still being used, right? It's another cool old building. That's probably the side the family lived on. Interesting. I should have got a better picture of it, but over there is a bomb shelter from World War II or the Cold War, who knows. It's an old one. Still remnants around.